morning, Sasha. This is Lucas Moore with Big Gold Belt Media.
Good morning.
Good morning. I want to ask you first about season three. What can we expect from the family's emotional mind state going into this season?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, obviously, coming out of season two, things are in complete and total chaos. So I think there is a sense amongst the family of like, where do we go from here? To be honest, like what does the rest of our lives look like? Because there's been this sort of seismic, violent, end to season
Yes.
two. And so, especially for Rock, it really is her trying to envision and put into place to a certain extent
Hmm.
a new version of herself, and the family. And so, but of course, as we all know, like leaving the past behind is a lot easier said than done. And so I
Yes.
think that's a big part of season three, Lucas, is just, you know, trying to figure out how to sort of reimagine who everybody is right after what happened at the end of season two, and whether
Yeah.
whether whether people have to change and what that change looks like. So I think that's a big part of season three.
Okay. Now, another thing with Raising Kanan, this feels like the prestige show of the Power universe,
Thank you.
like the great big show of this universe. Now, do you feel any pressure to live up to what possibly the audience expectations would be, or do you still get a thrill out of saying, you know what, I'm just going to shock you all. I'm gonna give you something you've never seen before, and I'm going to make your jaw drop as you watch the show.
Well, first off, thank you for saying all that. I mean, look, I think anyone who does this for a living is always thinking about the audience. And I think in the case of the
Mhm.
power audience, the bar is pretty high. They've really stuck it out for a number of years now, and they know this universe, frankly, probably better than I do in certain respects. Um, I think, we just try to remain true to the stories that we're telling. And what I mean by that is, we try to make it sort of internally and organically make sense and work, and we
Yes.
let the story take us where where it takes us to a certain extent. We're very, very fortunate that we have this incredible cast that allows us to do really amazing things because they're capable of doing amazing things. That's one of the sort of incredible pieces of making a television series, is that you discover these actors who frankly have even more range and capacities
Yes.
than you even thought, and all of a sudden you're like, oh wow, we can do something here that we didn't even think of originally. And that's the joy of discovery as it relates to what it is that we do for a living.
Okay, I got to ask you one more question,
Please.
specifically about the cast, as you brought up here. What about the new members of the cast this season, whether it be Wendell Pierce, whether it be Grantham Coleman, Erica
Yeah.
Woods? What can we expect to see from these new characters this season?
Well, first off, I mean, they're all incredible.
Yes.
Grantham is spectacular. I will say, just for me personally, Wendell Pierce is a hero of mine.
Mm,
And so the fact that he was interested and willing to join us on this series was an incredible thrill and gift and humbling in all sorts of different ways. I think Lucas is just, all these characters allow us to build out the world,
yes.
and to explore different pieces of that world, and to add new dimensions and new tensions and new conflicts. And again, when you have great actors, you can take some big swings.
Yes.
And so, I mean, you've watched, I think, probably the first few episodes, so you see that
Yes.
you know Grantham Coleman, who plays, Unique's
Hmm.
brother, is a real and dangerous presence. And Grantham brings something incredible to that role. And then we also meet, Snaps and Pop. That's Wendell Pierce and Erica Woods, and it's just,
Hmm.
what's great is we're able to sort of, again, sort of expand the mythology of the show and reach back into the past. And it's a real privilege to be able to do this for a living, and it's even more of a privilege to be able to work with the the people that I'm sort of blessed to work with on this show.
Well, great. Thank you for your time, Sascha. And me and our audience looks forward to deep diving into season 3 of Raising Kanan.
Thanks so much, man. Really appreciate you, and thanks for taking the
Thank
time.
you.